Hello everybody, my name is Starrapter and welcome back to another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon, where every week you can expect me to break it all down for you guys, the comics, the novels, the video games, and anything else that ties into the movies. So this week was a big week. It's E3, so I have some gaming news to talk about, as well as 2 new Marvel comics. So we're starting off with the comics. I want to talk about Darth Vader, issue number 17. This is the end of the arc Burning Seas, and well, seas do burn in this specific issue. So we are on Mon Cala. We have Darth Vader, who is leading the charge to get the king of Mon Cala under his command, so that he basically kneels to the Empire, and the Empire can take over Mon Cala. And in meanwhile, you have this Jedi Padawan who survives Order 66. His name is Bar, and he is trying to get the heck out of there. And he has his little disciple Verla with him, and they get cornered by the Inquisitors, and in the last issue we know that they have those clone troopers, and he says, execute Order 66, and all hell breaks loose, without a better term there. And it really does, because in this issue it picks up right with that. There's chaos. You have the 3 Inquisitors facing all these guys, and you have Bar who gets out of there along with Verla, and then we have Bar who goes into a duel with Darth Vader. And while that's happening, you have Tarkin in orbit above the Star Destroyer, and he orders an orbital bombardment on all of Mon Cala. And it is pretty much insane. This duel between Vader and Bar is not just a duel for the finesse and the discipline, but more for what's going on with Bar's head. He explains his motives about, hey, he was the one that had executed the shuttle to start this entire conflict. It was him. He has this foresight into saying that this is not going to matter for Mon Cala right now, but decades from now, this is going to spark the rebellion. So this guy is one of those revolutionaries that's seen the rise of the Rebel Alliance somehow, and he's pretty much a catalyst for a lot of things happening, because we know that we have Radis and we have Akbar that get out of there with their ships. Somehow they have a lot of casualties. There's a lot of wounds inflicted, but they do make it out of there alive. And well, Vader succeeds in his mission, and that's the close of this issue. So getting into the things that I specifically like about this issue is, first off, the rivalry between the Inquisitors. So at that moment when they get turned on by the clones, we actually have one of them first off go down. I think it was the 10th brother, who was actually Prosit Dibs from Mace Windu comics. Yes, that Jedi that was exiled, he gets mowed down in the blaster fire. Then we have the 9th sister, and then we have the 6th brother. The 6th brother being the character from the Ahsoka novel. And well, he says screw you to the 9th sister, and he just cuts off her leg to buy him time to escape. And he does escape. We see him escaping, and well, it doesn't look like the 9th sister made it out alive. She had a lot of pages worth of content in these last couple issues of Vader, but it doesn't look like she made it out, guys. But I do like that kind of dog-eat-dog mentality of these Inquisitors. It almost reminds you of the Sith, because they aren't the Sith. They are dark side users, but they'll do whatever it takes to survive. I really like the idea about the clones turning on their masters, and I think this specific incident will be what tells Palpatine to say no more with the clones. We can't have this incident happening ever again. We already do know at this point, though, that they are phasing out the clones in honor of bringing in actual conscripts of volunteers into the Imperial arms. So another thing I want to mention is about this one character that is one of the surviving disciples of Bar's little tutelage, and it is Verla, and she escapes. And this is going to kind of go into my next story later on in this video about the whole Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and about the Padawan that escapes after Revenge of the Sith. Could this maybe be her? Well, we have no idea, but I think that would be pretty cool. And I'm trying to see if she's going to even make it out of Mon Cala, because this whole planet is going to be basically blockaded off. So how the heck is she going to get out of there? We do see the aftermath of what happens, by the way, in this issue. If you've read the recent Star Wars comics, the mutiny at Mon Cala, it shows everything that's like 20 years in the future. They're trying to get the king, and well, I'm not going to spoil it because you can watch that video anyway. So another thing I want to talk about is the orbital bombardment of the planet itself. It was just very visceral, so much destruction just everywhere, and it's just something that's always in the background. We have that duel with Bar, and Vader, And all in the meanwhile, you have the lasers raining down. That was really cool. Yeah, and I just love the idea that Barr was this free thinker, this forward thinker to say, we got to sacrifice a couple million people here, but it's going to save a couple trillion. Something to that regard. He's not really a Jedi because, well, he purposely killed somebody, and that's not in a Jedi way. So I like that nuance to that character, how he was able to sort of put these events in motion that would really just tell us the future of what happened. So next time we have Vader, it will be issue number 18, and we do have a one-shot story that revolves around Tarkin and Vader. Remember, Tarkin asked a favor of Vader to go and get the kingly char. He did that, so now Vader is going to call on him, and basically it's going to be interesting, so can't wait for that. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I do have this awesome variant Darth Maul issue. I had to pick that up for Darth Vader number 17. And the next comic I want to talk about is Star Wars Thrawn issue number 5. We have one more issue after this one for this miniseries, which is based off of Thrawn, the novel by Timothy Zahn. So in this one, we have this planet which has these insurgents. It is called Bataan. And we have Thrawn, who is part of a task force to bring these people into the Empire and discipline them for their actions against the Empire. And, well, they are behind this orbital shield, which is impossible to penetrate. So it's up to Thrawn to come up with a different idea. Thrawn goes off on this side adventure where he basically is trying to bait out this enemy of his called Nightswan. And he sends Eli Vanto, who is now a commander, to do this for him. And they do get this information they need after, looking like they were smugglers, which is quite interesting. And then by the end of the issue, we have Thrawn reuniting with Arian the Price. Yes, that's his character, Governor Price of Lothal from Star Wars Rebels. And we have them teaming up. She is going undercover because her parents are actually on this planet. So she has this idea of she's going to go in disguise, talk to her parents, and hopefully they'll be able to get her into that shielded area. And then they'll have that shield go down and they'll be able to decimate basically everybody that was trying to speak out against the Empire. And that's kind of where this issue takes us. This issue for me, it was a pretty slow issue, to be honest. There wasn't a whole lot of action. There were some very important moments in this issue that's going to, kind of shape up the finale to the story. But all in all, it was decent, and I do like the little pop-up references of both the Twilight, I think it was called, that kind of ship that was from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, as well as the YT-2400 that both Thrawn and Eli Vanto are using to be smugglers. And finally, I do like how they are positioning Thrawn and Nightswan to have this epic moment where they're going to speak to each other. These two incredible minds behind tactics. It's going to be very interesting. And the good thing is, next month we have Thrawn issue number 6, and then a few weeks after that, we're actually getting the Thrawn Alliance's novel, which is going to be the sequel to that novel and kind of take place somewhere in Rebels between season 3 and season 4. So looking forward to that. And next up, we got the second half to the Han Solo season in Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is the season 2, which brings us a brand new map, and this is the Coaxium Mine on Kessel. Not only is it a new map, but they've also reintroduced another mode called Extraction, which existed in the original Battlefront from 2015, and it requires you, if you are the rebels, at least in my case, you have to escort this payload through to the end of the map. The only way you can do that is if you stand near this payload. That's the only way it'll keep moving. And that is a little bit of a change from the original Battlefront, where you had to keep activating this thing every time, and then the Empire would have to deactivate it, so it would have a whole nother step. They made it a lot more simpler, a lot more streamlined, and I really appreciate it. This mode really reminds me a lot of Overwatch. And not only is it on the Kessel map, but it is also on the Jabba's Palace map that they brought back a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we have 2 different maps with Extraction. Not only that, we did get more skins. We got 4 legendary skins. We have 2 for Han Solo. We have his garb from Corellia, as well as what he's wearing, the brown jacket, the rest of the movie. Then we also have 2 for Lando Calrissian. We have the famous yellow kind of suit he's in for the majority of the movie. Then we have the one where he loses the Falcon to Han at the end of the movie, that kind of yellow shirt with the different designs, white pants, yeah, that one. And we also get an epic skin for Chewbacca. He has the bandolier that is from Solo, so it's that kind of double bandolier, plus the goggles, so yeah, the whole getup from Vandor. Very, very cool. And we also get a brand new ship, kinda, the YT-2400, the Falcon, but it is Lando's version, so it has him and L3 on there, and they got a couple new moves. They got the special boost. They have the offensive capability to have both turrets fired at the same time. They have this other move with L3, so very interesting. Overall, I'm feeling very satisfied with Battlefront 2. If you look at the game now compared to where it was a while ago, they have made so many steps in the right direction, and I'm feeling very optimistic about where they are going into the future. And segueing from that point, I want to talk about E3 with Star Wars. And we had EA Play on Saturday, and we have lots of news for Battlefront 2. Lots of very good news that a lot of people have been anxiously waiting for. We have Clone Wars content coming to Battlefront 2 sometime in the fall. Not only are we getting 2 heroes, we are getting 4 heroes, guys. We are getting Anakin Skywalker, we are getting Obi-Wan Kenobi, we are getting Count Dooku, which I'm super pumped about because there was no word on that even coming out, and the very much speculated General Grievous is coming to Star Wars Battlefront 2 with a Geonosis map, multiple levels they have confirmed. It sounds like it's going to be really good, guys. We got this new mode they're also working on, which is kind of a linear mode. It sounds like almost a sort of variation of Conquest mode. Yeah, there's just... this is awesome. And actually, next month in July, we are getting Hero Starfighter mode. So it's just going to be the ships versus, the villains, heroes and villains. Very much looking forward to this. This is great news for Battlefront 2. Lots to get excited for. So yeah, start saving up your credits now because that is the only way you're going to be able to actually access the heroes. You can't actually buy the heroes for money. You can buy their skins, but not the actual characters themselves. And same goes for the ships, so I'm still saving up for Lando's ship. Not only did we get more news for Battlefront 2, but we have a brand new Star Wars game announced. I'm super hyped because it's a single-player game, and it is called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It's going to take place shortly after the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and it revolves around a surviving Padawan of Order 66. It is revealed that it's going to obviously be a very dark story in the Star Wars universe, and I'm looking very, very forward to it. It's coming supposedly in holiday 2019, so I'm hoping we'll hear more about it at Star Wars Celebration 2019. And I have a whole video reaction to that announcement of new or Fallen Order on the channel right now, so make sure you check that out. So that is going to do it for me, Starrapter, for this week. So much to break down, so much to talk about. What do you guys think of the final issue of the Burning Seas arc for Darth Vader? Are you enjoying it? Where do you think it's going to go in the future? How about Thrawn? Did you actually read this comic and didn't read the novel? I'm interested to hear people, if they've only been reading the adaptation, how does it feel as a story without reading the book? That's something I want to know. And about all this news, are you playing Battlefront 2's new update? Video games, let's talk about it all in that comment section below. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I talk about Star Wars every single week. So if you like this video, you're going to want to make sure you subscribe to the channel. My name is Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.